The female CEO Millionaire fainted at a party and woke up in a mechanic's garage with a little girl beside her. The city glowed like molten gold below the penthouse windows, its skyline glittering beneath the weight of 1,000 ambitions. Inside, the party was everything you'd expect from the top floor of power: sleek suits, clinking glasses, and the subtle scent of money and perfume. Ara Quinn stood at the center of it all like she belonged, because she did. At just 30, she was one of the most formidable women in finance, a self-made millionaire, the face of a wildly successful tech startup, and a regular headline in every major business publication. Her long blonde curls fell in perfect waves past her shoulders, and her metallic red dress shimmered like liquid fire with every step she took. People parted when she walked by, not out of fear, but awe. "Ara, we need your eyes on the acquisition model," someone called from the crowd. "Ara, your Forbes cover just went live," another chimed in. "Champagne?" a server offered. She accepted the glass, smiled like a queen, and raised it mid-conversation, the picture of effortless success. No one noticed how tightly her fingers gripped the flute. No one saw the way her smile faltered when no one was looking. No one knew about the soft, irregular thump in her chest that had become more frequent these past few months. She hadn't told anyone, not her assistant, not her doctor, not even herself. Not really, because Ara Quinn didn't have time to be weak. But tonight, the music felt too loud, the lights too sharp, and her chest too tight. She excused herself with a graceful nod and moved quickly through the crowd, her heels silent against the marble floor. She wasn't going to cause a scene. She just needed air, a moment. As she neared the elevator at the far end of the hall, her vision wavered, the edges of the world softening like wet paint. The elevator doors came into view. She focused on them like a lifeline. 10 more steps. 5. Her grip tightened on the champagne glass. Her heart thudded faster, then skipped. She reached out toward the call button, and the world disappeared. The glass slipped from her fingers and shattered against the floor. Her body collapsed in a slow, terrifying fall, crumpling near the elevator as voices gasped in the distance. "Ilara!" someone cried. "Call 911, another shouted. But Ara Quinn, queen of the room just moments ago, now lay unconscious in a puddle of golden glass, her empire spinning far, far above her. Morning light crept weakly through a narrow window, cutting across a dusty floor. The first thing she felt was the cold, not the sterile chill of a hospital, but something raw, the kind that seeped up from concrete and clung to the air like memory. Her eyelids fluttered. The world returned in fragments. The hum of fluorescent lights, the scent of engine oil and old metal, and the faint crackle of a space heater somewhere nearby. Then, a voice, soft, curious. "Are you a plain princess?" Ara blinked. A small face hovered inches from hers, round cheeks, wide hazel eyes, and a crooked ponytail tied with a mismatched ribbon. The little girl, maybe 6 years old, wore a pink dress smudged with oil and clutched a silver wrench like it was a doll. "What?" Ara murmured, her voice dry. "You were sleeping like Snow White, but in a car place." "I thought maybe you flew here," the girl whispered seriously. "Daddy says only special people end up here by accident." Ara struggled to sit up. Her head throbbed, her body felt heavy. A worn leather couch creaked beneath her. A gray blanket was tucked around her shoulders, and a half-empty bottle of water rested beside her. She was definitely not in a hospital. "Where am I?" she asked, panic flickering in her chest. The girl beamed. "Daddy's garage. He fixed you." "Fix me?" Ara echoed, confused. A shadow moved in the doorway. A tall man stepped in, wiping his hands with a shop rag. He looked about 34, with tousled brown hair, a faint grease smudge on his jaw, and calm eyes that didn't flinch when they met hers. "Morning," he said quietly. "You fainted. I didn't know your name, no phone, no ID. So, here we are." She stared at him, trying to piece things together. The last thing she remembered was reaching for the elevator. "I was at a party," she said slowly. "Penthouse downtown." He nodded. "I was delivering car parts to a client in the same building. The place was packed for that party upstairs. I saw you collapse near the elevators." No one moved, they just stared. Her mouth parted in disbelief. "And you?" "I couldn't leave you there." He shrugged, as if it were the simplest thing in the world. "I tried calling hospitals, but the line was jammed. Figured getting you somewhere warm and quiet was better than the sidewalk." "I could have paid for a private ambulance," she muttered, more to herself than to him. He didn't reply, just handed her a steaming paper cup.
It's instant noodles. My daughter insisted you'd wake up hungry. Ara looked down.
A plastic fork poked out of the cup, steam curling upward. She hadn't eaten since, she couldn't remember. Across the room, the little girl had plopped herself beside a tool chest, humming as she scribbled on a notepad with a stubby crayon. She glanced up and waved. "I'm Tessa." "Ilara," she replied, then paused. It had been a while since she'd said her name without it being followed by CEO, Forbes, or for the investors.
"I'm Sawyer," the man added.
A silence settled between them, not awkward, just unfamiliar. Ara took a small bite of the noodles. Her stomach, once tight with nerves, loosened with the warmth.
She looked around.
The garage was cluttered but clean, a faded calendar, a cracked window, a row of toy cars lined neatly on a shelf.
It was all so normal. No cameras. No curated image.
Just a man, a child, and the kindness of a space that had no reason to welcome her.
She looked back at Sawyer.
"Thank you," she said quietly, "for helping me."
He gave a small nod.
People don't always need saving, but they always deserve care. And for the first time in a long while, Ara felt something she hadn't allowed herself to feel in years: safe.